It's always the third time, isn't it? Discussion board. Three. Gulick, Merton, Maslow. Let's power through it. First, it was a 20-minute video, and then it was a 15. Now it's going to be a 5. All right. Podcore. Planning, organization, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, budgeting. Think about it in sense of a fire department. Um, Planning, emergency response plans, very necessary. Need the proper equipment, very necessary. Requires proper planning. Organizing, organizing. Think about it, hierarchy. Organizing is hierarchy. Okay, dividing those responsibilities between everything. Make sure everything's efficient. Firefighters, captains, chiefs. Oh, this is a Gulick. Yes, Gulick. Okay. Staffing. Um, People they need recruits, they need new firefighters to make sure everything keeps functioning, so they make programs to develop those skills, and to be effectively managed, I guess you could say, and just be effective and efficient first off. um, Directing. When I think of directing, I think of delegation. Delegating. Delegating during emergencies, making sure that those specific roles, those specific firefighters are going to the everywhere. They're making sure that they're evacuating citizens, adhering to the fire, making sure that the streets blocked off, all that sort of stuff, that everybody has a specific role. So directing, directing. Coordinating. Okay, very similar. Coordinating, thinking about the bigger picture of things. Firefighters also work with nurses, police officers, other management agencies, or emergency management agencies. So think about in that broad, like other agencies working with other agencies. So hospitals, police. All right, reporting, making sure that they report their incidents and making and understanding, oh, hey, there's a pattern right here that I see, and we can streamline it more. Think about Taylor. So making sure everything is better for future operations. Budgeting. They need money. They need good resource allocation. They need safety gear. They need oxygen tanks. They need water inside their fire engine. All that stuff costs money. They need fire trucks. Um, um, yeah. The PODS Corp was mentioned on page 112 to understand that, and it gives it a lot more in-depth analysis. But that's what I think about it. And when I think about Gulick, I think about efficient management. Next, paradox of bureaucracy. This guy, very hard to understand. I wrote down 3 words: impersonality. Just think about rigid rule structure, hierarchy, chain of command, and then specialization, role efficiency. So when everything is like very organized, it can actually create this thing called goal displacement. It goes into more information on page 121. But when you think about goal displacement, think about, they're really trying to make everything efficient, but the more efficient that things get, the more rules that are allowed, the more things that they have to go through. So rigid rules, right? These strict rules, there is no, you have to, if a struggling mother forgot one of her documents to get EBT or food stamps, they have to refuse it and cannot make an exception. That's inefficient. Even though she has other things, they know that she's poor, but she doesn't have this other thing that, well, nope, you don't get food, all that sort of stuff. You have to, that's what in strict rules, I guess you can mean, or in personality. Hierarchy, rigid chain of command. If that single mother needs to get cleared for that EBT, well, it has to go through the supervisor, and after the supervisor, it goes to the next supervisor, and then the next supervisor, and then it works its way down. And if it gets denied, then there's an appraisal process. So then it goes up, and then it goes down again. Very inefficient. You can't bypass the supervisors. So think about that. Cannot bypass supervisors. That's for the hierarchy. Specialization. Well, if you're talking to the wrong person, sorry, you have to go over to Stacy over there. Oh, actually, sorry, this is the other department. You need to go back over there and ask for this person. It's like, no. So there's specific task, and I feel like that might have been a bad example, but when you think about it, like people can be very trained and soared this towards this one thing. And if they are given that wrong thing to focus on. Well, they have a very narrow focus on the limits of their ability in the department, so they can't really adhere to everything. So you have to go to a specific section of the department or something like that. So that's like kind of like the paradox thing is like kind of worse, right? That's like where I put the triangle there. Um, so to solve this paradox, if things are too rigid, then make things more balanced, make it a little bit more flexible. Between those rules and that flexibility, that's the entire point that he's trying to address is that goal displacement. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for Merton. So when you think about goal displacement, think about he's just trying to solve how inefficient stuff is because of how organized it is. So he wants it to be flexible. Yeah, there we go. We'll go with that. Look at that smile. That's Maslow's smile. Um, this was interesting because you need to understand it between a public administration point of view. So everybody needs food, water, and shelter. Yeah, that makes sense. Everybody needs to be safe. You don't want to get stabbed by a stranger in the night. Yeah, okay, yeah, makes sense. But in public administration, physiological needs. How are you going to get water? How are you going to get food? How are you going to get shelter? You need fair wages. You need money. You need to get that money. So and that kind of falls into the next one, safety needs. You need to make sure that you have job security to get that money in order to live. If you have that job security, then you're like, oh, nice. This is a safe working environment. That's wonderful to know, you know. Next, love and belonging. And for public administration, social events, going after work and, shooting hoops. That's what Seal Beach does. Every Tuesday they shoot hoops. Or they play basketball. So after they play basketball, they might go out, have some food, whatnot. That's great to get to know the people, to make you feel belonged and valued by your colleagues. And I think that's incredibly important. So that's for love and belonging. Esteem. Um, Promotions. I would say promotions. Promotions is very important. So, if every year, you get a dollar raise and you feel recognized that like, oh, hey, I am putting in the work. Let's go. I got a promotion. Let's go. Or not even just a promotion to the next job title, just a raise in general. That's fantastic in and of itself. So making sure that you're feeling valued by the company. Next, self-actualization of needs. This was harder to do. Uh, if a specific nurse or a hospital offers nurse training programs to make sure that they continue their education units, that's incredibly important. But maybe if they give, oh, there's free classes about this, different sections inside the healthcare industry that you might be interested in, you'd be like, oh, maybe I always found that really interesting. So you start to be who you want to be. Page 133, he says, what a man can be must be. So a woman too, um, that self-actualization is incredibly important for you developing yourself, but also the government agency getting better people in the areas that they want to be better in. That makes sense. Um, so that makes it higher job satisfaction, better performance, everything, more efficient management. So that's what Maslow's hierarchy relating to public administration. Uh, Few closing remarks. I really like these quotes. I just Googled them. Just really fantastic. Besides Maslow's actually in the book. The other ones by Merton Gulick, they weren't. But Gulick, the more a person is specialized, the less he is able to give a general perspective to the problem he is dealing with. Wow, fascinating. Literally what Merton said. So Gulick always just wanted more efficient management style. So he created that acronym. Merton ties into the next one. The very form of organization which is designed to promote efficiency may itself generate inefficiency. And he let a rise to that. So trying to understand how flexible the government has to be to move around the corners in order to give the best service. And then Maslow, trying to make people go in the direction that they want to go in, but also fostering a good community to make that happen while also promoting. Belonging. Yeah, we'll go with that. So that's pretty much everything. Hope you got everything. Peace, love, goodbye.